Hi, I'm Bella and welcome to my channel. This video is about how you should interact with someone who is sick. And before I can get into this video, let me say this all is based off of my opinions and my experiences. So if they're not as comfortable with the same things that I may be comfortable with, then I would talk to them about it and make sure you know what they're okay with and what they're not okay with. Because at the end of the day, you want them to be as comfortable as possible because this is a pretty rough time in their life. Let's go ahead and start off this video by saying what you should and shouldn't say to someone who is sick. I'm going to start with what you shouldn't say. That's probably the most important part. So number one, if someone is sick and either can't have food or just has certain dietary restrictions, please do not send them pictures of your food. This happens to me more than it should, and I don't think whoever is doing it means any harm by it, but they either just send me a Snapchat or a text or a DM or something where they're at dinner, or they just cook something and they send me their food, which normally I'd be okay with, but since I no longer can eat, it's hard when I see something that I used to eat all the time and I loved, because then I start to crave it again and I get really upset. Number two, this is probably the worst thing that you can say to a sick person, and that is, well, you don't look sick. In my situation, I don't look sick. I try to hide it as much as I can because I don't want other people around me to feel uncomfortable or feel like they have to feel bad for me. So please don't say you don't look sick to a sick person, because that's kind of offensive. Another thing I get is, how come you look sick some days, but you can do stuff on other days? I have a simple explanation for this, and that is I have good days and I have bad days where I feel more sick on some days and worse on others. So I'm able to do more on my good days than I am on my bad days, obviously. And don't take it to offense if I can't do something with you because I'm feeling too sick, because that's really not my fault. Next, don't expect the person to be able to do the same things that they used to do. When you get sick, and even if it's just for a short period of time, you kind of have to alter your lifestyle. You're not going to be able to do everything that you used to do. And I know I had to stop doing a lot of things I used to love. And it's kind of upsetting when people get mad at me for something that's not really my fault. So don't do that to someone who's sick, because they really can't do anything about it. And absolutely don't put them down for anything they can't do, because it's not their fault. Like I just said, they didn't choose to be sick. Next, don't be scared to ask questions and don't assume anything if you don't know the right answer. Sick people aren't usually scared to talk about their illness because that's their everyday life for however long they're sick, and they have to adjust to it no matter what. So if you ask them questions about how they're feeling or what happened to them, they're probably going to be okay with answering it because it's just how they live. So the more you know, the less you have to wonder. So don't be scared to ask any questions. Next, let's go on to what you should say to someone who's sick. Ask questions about their illness, like I just talked about. The more you know, the less you have to think about. Help them make their life as easy as possible. When someone's sick, they most likely can't do everything that they need to do in order to be a productive person. So if, let's say the person who's sick is a mom, ask them how you can take care of their kids, if you can babysit them or help them in some sort of way. If you're dealing with a teenager like me, ask them how you can help with their homework or something like that to make their life as smooth as possible. Be conscious of how the person may be feeling and ask them how they may be feeling. If you know how they are, then everything that goes on between you two is going to be smoother and it's going to make more sense in your head. Relating to the last thing is expect plans to be canceled, because if someone's ill, they might feel too sick to do something with you. So if something gets canceled, don't worry about it. Just reschedule it or find another thing to do that day. Lastly, make sure that you let them know that you support and love them. It's so important to know that there's someone there for you when you're feeling sick or when you're going through a rough time. And I can't stress this point enough. If you are close to this person, or even if you're not, but you know that they're going through something, definitely reach out to them and make sure they're doing okay. Now on to my second topic, which is visitors. If you're gonna go visit someone, whether it be at the hospital or at their house, make sure that they feel up to it and that they're open to people coming over. I know when I was in the hospital, I didn't want anyone seeing me like that, and I didn't want people to have to go out of their way to come see me and stuff like that. So if you're gonna try to visit someone, make sure they're okay with it. And don't surprise visit them, because that can be pretty scary if you're sick. Be considerate of their illness and don't expect too much of them. As I was saying earlier, if you don't think they're going to be able to do something, then don't expect them to be able to do it. Simple. If the person can eat or drink something specific, definitely don't bring that kind of food around them, because they'll probably get a little sad or offended or not have a very positive reaction to that. If you decide to send them something in the hospital, make sure it's allowed. I know since I was on the pediatric unit, flowers couldn't be sent to me, and the only things that I could receive were balloons, you know, the metal sort of ones that are shiny, and stuffed animals. So that's what my family sent me, which was honestly really sweet, and I love that. Next, sometimes you don't have to visit a person to remind them that you love them and support them. A text can be enough sometimes, and a phone call or FaceTime or a letter, depending on how you can reach them. You don't have to see the person face to face in order for them to know that you're thinking about them and caring for them. And you definitely don't have to spend money. I have a really good family friend named Brooke. She is so sweet and definitely one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. And she contacted one of my favorite YouTubers and asked her to make a video for me. That didn't cost her anything, but that was still the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me. And it meant more to me than anything anyone could have bought me. I think it was so thoughtful, and I love you, Brooke. Concluding this section, if you know that someone's sick or in the hospital or just not doing too well, make sure you contact them and make sure that they know that you're thinking of them and you love them. That can be super important. Some people that I've known my entire life didn't even really check up on me that much or at all, which it kind of hurt, but it kind of showed me who was actually there for me and who wasn't. So that taught me a lot about everyone in my life. And then some strangers who didn't even know me were contacting me and telling me that they were caring about me and praying for me, and that meant so much to me. So if you know someone's not doing too well, make sure you let them know that you're thinking of them. And that concludes my video about how you should interact with someone who's sick. Now, I have a few videos that I'm planning on posting soon, and some of them include a day in the life featuring my feeding tube, travel vlogs, a Broadway vlog where I go see a Broadway show, and I'm also going to do some holiday specials, and you guys will get to meet my family. So please stay tuned and keep watching videos on my channel, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe to me. I'm just starting out on YouTube, and I'm trying to grow my channel so I can help anyone out there who is dealing with situations like mine and make them feel a little bit more comfortable and let them know that they're not the only one going through something rough, and I'm there for you. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!